everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. Anticipation is mounting for today's game, and we've got two quarterbacks looking to make an impact. It's Ryan's Falcons going up against Wilson's Seahawks. With that, let's get you up to Seattle. We're standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. We are here on a beautiful afternoon for football. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Seattle Seahawks. Tyler Lockett now with a return. And he'll take this up past the 20 and... down at the 20. A 2-yard line. They'll come out in the pistol. First carry for Thomas Rawls. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
A fake to Rawls. Now it's Wilson. The grab made by Curse over the middle. The reception good for 7. It's third down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Tyler Lockett was the target there. Now fourth down. So on fourth down, as seen on TV, here's their resident strongman, John Ryan, on to punt. This is taken at the 10. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And it'll be Falcon football as they take possession. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Here's the offense, and we talk about the tight end, Jacob Tammett.
A lot of people thought of him as simply a safety valve receiver. He can be a primary receiver. Jacob Tammett shows better athleticism than what people expect.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. And that linebacker group today could be very key.
As we were preparing for this game, you pointed out to me as we were watching film that the linebackers look like an elite unit. I agree with you totally. They move around, fly to the football, and take it away from offenses.
Here's Ryan. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. Back deep for the Seahawks, the all-pro returner from 2015, Tyler Lockett. Now it's Lockett. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
In the slot on the right is Graham. Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. Here's a look at the young Atlanta Falcons, although next year, obviously, everyone will be a year older. So rookies like Deion Jones, Keanu Neal, Devondre Campbell, an extra year. Well, their only year, but a year under their belt now to get better.
They're just young and growing, aren't they? I mean, I expect their play to continue to accelerate and elevate. And think about the building blocks they had in front of them. Second-year guys in 2016 who had big years. Grady Jarrett, a monster in the Super Bowl, tied a sack record in that game against New England. And Vic Beasley led the NFL in sacks for the regular season with 15 and a half, and also had 6 forced fumbles.
A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Falcons grab it. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
10 yards still left on 2nd down. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones. An 18-yard touchdown grab. It's good, and that gives the Falcons a 7-0 lead. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. Now the former Notre Damer, this is C.J. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed. And that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
On third down, Wilson. And able to find Graham, complete. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Baldwin coming off his first Pro Bowl appearance. He had career highs, Charles, in catches with 94, over 1,100 yards. That also a career high. Pretty good season for Doug Baldwin.
And I think the place that he really started to take off was midway through 2015. The connection between he and his quarterback, Russell Wilson, where they were playing more from the pocket, bigger plays downfield, that just propelled him into 2016. That, and anything he perceives as a slight, he uses it to his advantage, and he just goes out and plays.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now first and goal.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Shift together here from the D-line. They come out here in the eye. They'll try to run with Rawls. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Thomas Rawls taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Well, you mind if we go off topic for a second?
Oh,
you know
go.
I like to do that randomly. AFC playoff contenders for this year that didn't make it last season. Who do you have that might get in?
Well, I think Cincinnati's got to be considered there. Maybe they'd have an offseason that's calm, and they go into this season and try and get back to the playoffs where they have been perennials. How about Denver?
Yeah.
Remember last year they didn't have the quarterback to start. Trevor Siemian played pretty well overall, but maybe they can get solidified there and ride that strong defense right back into the playoffs. I'm going to give you a couple a little bit off the pace. Indianapolis cannot afford to squander Andrew Luck, one of the better young quarterbacks in the game. They've got to get back to the playoffs. And Buffalo, brand new head coach, brand new people running the ball club. Let's see if they can figure it out, because I think defensively they can be awfully strong.
Coleman now. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 40. And for Coleman, if you combine the rushing and receiving yards, close to 1,000 last year. He had 8 touchdowns as well, and was just really a great 1-2 combo with Devontae Freeman.
An outstanding one, and just think, if he's on just about any other NFL team, he's probably the lead running back. And Devontae Freeman gets the bulk of the carries. But Coleman, when he does get his hands on the football, he really produces a big way, speaking of the numbers you just gave. Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
Second and 10. It's Ryan again. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Here's Ryan to throw. It's caught, left side, Tammy. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And the kick for the 41-year-old is up and good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
2nd down following the run. First man through, this is the fullback Reese. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
He hits Baldwin right side. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Decent chunk of yardage still left here. 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
They go play action here on 1st down. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Paul Warlow. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. And the Falcons now making their way back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now Ryan on 2nd down. Caught on the right side by Jones. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Over 1,400 yards last year for Jones. Just 6 touchdowns, but, of course he had the big 300-yard game. However, when he was blanketed with coverage, he always opens things up for other guys, doesn't he?
He does, and that's what's benefited Atlanta's offense. Other guys were able to step up. In 2016, Mohamed Sanu stepped up and had his best year as a pro. Austin Hooper, as a young tight end, really developed down the stretch. And Taylor Gabriel, who had come over as a free agent from Cleveland, he really flourished, actually led the team in touchdown catches. But there's only one Julio Jones, and you want to get the ball to him as much as possible.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. On 2nd down, Ryan. Under pressure, he's going to go down. Look at this, way back around the 43. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Here's Ryan. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
So 2nd and 10 here. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. Sanu with a grab over the middle. And he'll be... And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense.
And, Brandon, I think Mohamed Sanu had a nice career while he was in Cincinnati, but he really elevated 2016 in Atlanta, the most catches for himself in a single season.
59 of them, 4 touchdowns. Really a nice compliment to Julio Jones, and he was a nice compliment in Cincinnati. I don't want to say he's not a number 1 receiver, but he plays that number 2 slot well, doesn't he?
He does, and I think it's because of his versatility. He can play in the slot. He can play out wide. They can use him as a wildcat quarterback. He has thrown passes in the NFL. In fact, going back to his days at Rutgers, I think he threw 18 passes while he was at Rutgers, so you never know what you're going to get when Mohamed Sanu has his hands on the football.
Bryant now to tack on the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
A good pickup of 6 there on 1st down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now Wilson on 1st down. Forced out to his left. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Thomas Rawls there. And now it's 2nd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL.
Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Atlanta now coming out on the field, and the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
The left side completion to Jones. The 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones in the final seconds of the first half. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. And they'll give it to him here. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. Back to the ground on first. Again, it's Rawls. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. They run the play fake to Coleman. Now Ryan. Rolling to his right. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And it's 3rd down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot.
And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. After the interception, here's Wilson. He's got time in the pocket. Flushed out right. And he's got room. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make it second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
On second down, Wilson. Being chased out left. That is caught inside the 5. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Tyler Lockett from 19 yards away. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Now it's 2nd and 7. They come up in an offset eye. Now it's Ryan. Here's Sanu on the catch. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Here's Coleman. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. And credit the tackle to Cliff Avril.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. On second down, Ryan. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
The wide receiver moving to a new spot. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Jalen Collins. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They will run again with Coleman. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt. A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. To throw is Ryan. Going underneath, it's Coleman. A great effort there to shed the contact. And it helps him pick up the first. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Throwing now, Ryan on first down. And this is Gabriel on the catch. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And the D-line pinching together, must be expecting the run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
On first down, Ryan. This will be caught inside the 10. And eventually brought down, but it's near the 5 at the 6. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
Now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the fourth. And now it's second and goal. It's Coleman here. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Tevin Coleman taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
It's a big hook up there. Wilson to Baldwin. And even 60 yards. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. They come out 5 wide. 3 of them to the right side. And the wideout in motion. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Desmond Trufant. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Then confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. They begin the drive with Coleman. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
They run the play fake to Coleman. Now Ryan. The left side completion to Jones. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. And they're just a couple of yards shy of a first down here on third down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On third down, Devontae Freeman. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Caught out left side by Robinson. That one goes for 24 yards. Now, defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. And he rifles one incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes it across midfield to the 45. That one good for 10 yards. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
So following the run, we'll see what they do here on third down. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down.
It's hard to call that run a win for the offense, but in a lot of ways it was. Hitting the backfield, fights his way back. He ends up with no gain, but it certainly could have been a whole lot worse.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll run it with Coleman. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone of the chalk of the 20.
And this is a spot where you have your offense stay out there to get those few inches. It's too long for a field goal. It's not worth punting. So this is the right decision as far as I'm concerned. And they wind up picking up the first down.